Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to Mission Podcast for the very first Premier League roundup of the season. With me today is DK and Hedy. Hedy has been, he's been behaving well recently, so we've decided to let him onto the podcast. Um, you know, you can't have him on
Jealous,
every
man.
single time. He's a very special guy to have on. And I can say that because I'm autistic. Like, he's a special guy to have on. Um, but yeah, no, let's go through. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about the entire weekend's football. Um, not in a great amount of detail, but kind of like highlight some of the highlights, some of the lowlights as well for some players and for some teams, and then also discuss our team of the week as well. So we'll go straight into the first. We'll go in game order as they happen. So
Yeah,
we'll talk about Liverpool versus Bournemouth first. Um, a lot of us Mission Podcast guys are primarily Liverpool fans, so if you do want to see a full detailed analysis, bullshit chit chat sort of thing, you can have a look at our Liverpool match review
yeah,
against Bournemouth. That's about an hour's long. We talk about Canate and whatnot. But yeah, look, we'll jump straight into it. Talk about the Liverpool Bournemouth game in really brief detail. That we won't take too long. I promise. This is a very
yeah.
talk about all Premier League teams. We'll be better than Carragher and Neville as well. Hopefully. I hope. So yeah, Liverpool, Bournemouth. Where do we start from there, guys? Because obviously,
I-
Danny, we spoke about it, but I wanted to get Hedy's perspective
yeah,
first.
Um, Obviously, it's your first time seeing Liverpool in the Prem with the new signings. I didn't really get to watch the match because I was at cricket, but like obviously I seen the goals. Um, Person who impressed me a lot was Ekitike. Obviously he bagged. But he also had a nice assist, and I think he's gonna light up the Prem, man. He's such an upgrade on the two clowns that you previously had. I think Gakpo as well, man. He looked really good. He bagged as well. So yeah, I can't really say much because I didn't really watch in it. But they're my main takeaways. It's nice to see Liverpool, and also from Bournemouth side, Semenyo with their brace. I think he'll have a good season as well. I mean, it was a close game until the end as well. Salah, he took it away, bagged his crossing as well. I mean, that guy is just unreal, man. You think you've seen the best of him, but every season he just improves.
yeah.
And if you watched our predictions at the start, I did say he's going to be Player of the Year. So I think, yeah, it just speaks levels about him.
But yeah, I mean, that was a great way to kick off the season. A six-goal thriller. I mean, what more do you want, to kick off the season? But yeah, overall, great game. Some stand-up performance from our team, Liverpool. Like I think Ekitike was great. Gakpo was another player who was great. Salah wasn't great, but he got his goal. I mean, there were a lot of talking points. I mean, we covered most of it in the episode we did, but certain rooms for improvement, especially in the defense, and with certain players like Words. Not going to get him on too much. We spoke about it. He just joined. It's a total different ball game to the Bundesliga, so he'll adjust. I think he's a quality player, but yeah, got no worries about Liverpool. Again, on the Bournemouth side, Semenyo, what a player! I think he's a great player to have a Bournemouth, and he's gonna do a lot for Bournemouth this season. Scoring the points. But yeah, I think Bournemouth with their defense, though, I mean, they did get rid of a lot of players, and it was telling because some of the goals they were conceding weren't really like it was more down to their mistakes. Like I mean, the ricochet was unlucky for Ekitike. The defending for the Gakpo goal wasn't great. Again, the defending for the Salah goal wasn't really great. But yeah, I think their new defense is going to take a bit of time to adjust. But I've got no worries for Bournemouth. I think I predicted them around 12th, 13th, I think, or around the top 10. I think they end around there. But yeah, there's nothing to really worry about Bournemouth fans. I think they're going to have a great season. Oh, Hazard, I think you're on mute.
I am indeed. Sorry, I went to put my Apple Watch on charge, and I was trying to get out all the wrestling and stuff. But one thing that I really want to highlight quickly from that game as well, um, is that it was really good to see how quickly the police were able to intervene, or stewards were able to intervene on
Oh,
that
yeah.
fan that was being racist as well. Obviously everyone here. I know it sounds really PR statementy, but we all here condemn racism, and I'm pretty sure anyone watching is the exact same as well. Um, you know, I think looking at Semenyo's reaction, it was like, did he really just say that sort of thing? Um, and it's it's poor that we're still seeing this kind of behavior in football, regardless of whether you know of where you are really, where you are. You can't really look at that and just say it's fine. It really isn't. These guys are here to put on a show. They're there to play really well for their own club, and it's a disgrace to be honest. And
Facts.
you can't just say, "Oh, from a Liverpool fan, we condemn it." No, it's just condemn full stop. And I'm really glad to see it was dealt with really quickly, and the game was able to move on. And everyone, generally speaking, hopes that Semenyo is okay. I think that's
Facts, bro.
no one ever wants to see
Yeah.
that in football
Yeah.
ever, or in any
You know,
form of.
you know what killed me when they wheeled him out on his wheelchair. And of course, it had to be one of them as well, man. I mean, no room for racism, man, especially to a player. I mean, fair enough. Like there's teams, there's rivalries, but racism, man.
Yeah, let's move on to the next game. I mean, the first game that kicked off the weekend, Aston Villa against Newcastle. I mean, we went from the Liverpool game to this game, and it was quite something to be honest, because Villa and Newcastle are two teams which you know around the top six. You're expecting a good game here, but it was anything but a good game. I mean, the first half was quite stale. And then the only talking point from this game was the red card. To be honest, I thought it was a clear red card. I thought you play someone like Gordon through on goal, and Konza just took him out, clear red card. And yeah, I think Newcastle again. I think they'll do well this season. We've seen them do well in previous seasons. I think Gordon will be main player for them. It's looking like they're struggling to sign a striker with all this Isak stuff. So Gordon's gonna again play a massive part this season. Villa though, I think with Villa, especially because they've signed no one, it's going to be a bit difficult compared to last season. Especially, I've liked the signing of Gwesson. I think Gwesson can do well from this season. But yeah, I think Newcastle and Villa will probably be around the same spots. I think Newcastle. I mean, we've got Newcastle left next week on Monday.
Oh,
So
are these?
yeah, we play them on St James Park next MNF. I think is the
Oh,
last.
it's away.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
away. So
It's a
that'll
tough
be a
game.
tough game,
Be a
and
tough game.
that's a good
tension
fixture. That.
tensions will be really high, especially with all this Isak stuff. Bro, Joe Linton might be on another one. We might need to, bubble up some players.
Oh,
So
imagine
yeah,
Isaac starts.
bro, that guy playing for Newcastle ever again. So yeah,
Bit funny, man. He just
yeah,
runs in Seth Rollins style.
but yeah, I think that Newcastle and Villa game was really boring. Nothing else to say about it.
I mean, main
I,
talking point was probably the Conso red card,
Yeah,
but
I
other
think
than
I
that,
think
yeah.
one of the well, I never got to watch the game. I was playing cricket, but talking to a few of my Villa friends, they were saying that there was a possibility that they could have gone on to win the game. They had a decent amount of control, but the problem was Konsa getting sent off and then having to be on the back foot for the rest of the game. Um, Apparently, that Marco Bizot guy did really well in goal. The way that he was able to just keep Villa in the game against a pretty decent Newcastle attack. They had Alanga, they had Anthony Gordon, and they were causing some problems as well. But overall, I think having watched a bit of the highlights back, it was kind of like it was a bit of a mediocre game. I think
Yeah.
Newcastle. I think actually, sorry, Villa will be the happier team to take the point home, considering that they were 10 men down.
Yeah.
But prior to that, you would have said, yeah, I think if you're Newcastle, you probably take the point, given everything that's been happening
yeah,
recently.
I mean, it's
yeah,
such a contrast compared to their game they had 2 years ago on opening day. I think was it Newcastle Villa? It was Newcastle that won 5-1, and
yeah,
now 2 years later. But I mean, like you said, Danny Ilanga, he did impress me. His first game in the Newcastle side down the right, he did look good. Obviously, Gordon playing as the striker, it's not ideal, but he still did well. And it would be nice for him to get a contribution because I've got him in my FPL. But yeah, hey, let's move
yeah.
on, man. That game,
But yeah,
stinker.
let's hope the next week Saturday game, Man City against Spurs, isn't as
Oh
dull as this
man,
one.
I'm already bricking it.
Our
Doo
next game, we'll
doos.
talk about Tottenham against Burnley, which Tottenham won 3-0 convincingly, to be honest. I mean, this was the game I ended up watching on Saturday, 3 p.m. I think I watched most of it, didn't watch all of it. But Carlson, again, I think he took his goal, took both of his goals really well, especially the, second one. Again, Kudus really impressed me. I had him on FPL, so I wanted him to do good, and he got 2 assists. So yeah, I think he did well. And them, they're gonna it looks like they're adding Eze to the team now, so their attack is looking real good now. I think Solanke, Kudus, Eze, Brennan Johnson. That's an attack that can, probably challenge around top four. I don't think they'll get top four, but I think they'll be around top four because Thomas Frank is a manager I rate really highly, and their defense against Van de Ven, Romero signed a new contract today. Their defense is looking solid as well. I mean, the keeper as well, Vicario, I think is a really good keeper. But yeah, I think Spurs fans have got a lot to look forward to this season.
Yeah, to be honest, I think what's really good about having Thomas Frank in this side is that if you look at how Brentford, when they got promoted, they were defensively quite solid, and then they were able to go and build a reliable attack afterwards with Mbeumo, Risa, um, Norgard, etc. Plenty of different players that they were able to utilize in attack, but their defense is something that was really strong initially. What Thomas Frank is going to do a lot differently to Ange Postecoglou is that the defense and the midfield are going to be a really big focal point. What everyone noticed about Tottenham last season is that expressions will tell you in his own expressions way that they were left open many times, and I'm not expressions and I don't have the words of
Oh man,
Mr. Shakespeare
as
himself.
he killed me.
I don't have the words of Mr. Shakespeare himself, but the way that Thomas Frank will set up in comparison to Ange Postecoglou is that it won't be as entertaining for the neutral, but it will be certainly a lot more successful for Tottenham. For the Tottenham team and for the Tottenham fans, you could even go back and look at how they played against PSG. They were really good defensively up until the last 10 minutes, where I think it was just a lack of game management and game awareness. PSG were a little bit too good for them. Um, but that PSG team have been beating pretty much nearly every single team that have come their way. So there's no shame in losing that game. But Tottenham fans have got a lot to look forward to, particularly with that Kudus and Richarlison link up. That could be Thomas Frank's new Mbeumo and Wissa. They've
Yeah.
also got Solanke as well. They've also got Solanke, they've got Eze coming in. I love the midfield of Bentancur and Basuma. There's so many good things to look forward to as a Tottenham fan this season, especially with the Champions League as well. Top four, they'll certainly be a better challenger than most other clubs this season, and I think Tottenham fans can look forward to a really good season this season. Burnley, on the other hand, I think they are destined for relegation. Destined for relegation. I'll be very surprised if they make it past 15 points this season. I can't really see them winning. You know what it is? I look at that Burnley side, and I just can't look at them winning a single game of Premier League football this season. Just based on the quality of the other teams, particularly the promoted teams. I can see them potentially doing over Everton and West Ham, but that's about it really. They just don't. I don't think they have the Premier League pedigree in that side. There's not one good player in there that I think that can help them stay up, and it's going to be a really long season for Burnley.
Yeah, agreed. I think that line of Burnley put out, there was no hope. The moment they I seen the team sheet, I mean, there's literally no player in there that, in my opinion, is Premier League quality in 2025. Kyle Walker in that defense, useless, gonna do nothing good. Yeah, I think that whole, I mean, Heady will talk more about Kyle Walker because he watched him straight off for 7, 8 years straight. But yeah, I feel like Burnley are destined for relegation. Scott Parker, again, he's gonna have another relegation on his CV. But yeah, again, I watched that game. Burnley did create a few chances. I mean, when you play Spurs, you're always gonna create a few chances. But again, the lack of quality in the final third cost them massively. So yeah, they're gonna go right down.
Good, good.
Heady, you got any
Yeah, I
thoughts on the
mean,
game?
even with Spurs, the one that impressed me, I know I'm gonna go different from you lot. Brennan Johnson
Yeah.
came on and he bugged. Think he'll have a good season. Overall, Spurs. I know. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. They're playing Burnley, and I know they'll probably do us next week as well. But it's still, I think it's still too early to say if Tottenham are actually going to be serious for the league. But they are showing signs.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got
Next,
nothing else to say, man. I mean, Burnley, same old Burnley, dropping stinkers.
let's move on to the next promoter team, Sunderland, who really impressed me. In my opinion, they were the team of the week. Opening game week of the season. Again, another team I thought would finish the highest out of all the promoter teams, but I did have them just about going down. But again, the performance they put up was magnificent. I mean, literally from the back, from Ballard all the way up to Mayenda, the striker. bro, the ball phenomenal, and you could tell there were like patterns of play with Sunderland. They've been training for this since pre-season started. I think Xhaka is going to be a massive player for you this year. I think Hedy said he had him as his most impactful player, but I think Xhaka is going to be massive for Sunderland because he gives them midfield control again. Diarra, another great player, and their defense, I think, held up well. Ballard, I think he's come from Arsenal and sensational centre back. He got a goal and I think, he was man of the match with the amount of clearances he was doing. Again, West Ham are not a great team to be honest this season. I think they'll be around the relegation zone. And first game of the season, they have nothing to provide. I think Bowen and Paqueta are going to be there to talisman to go to if they want to stay up the season. Again, I think they're going to struggle. But for a Sunderland fan, this is the dream start. Winning 3-0 at home in the first game. One thing I watched this game on the match of the day, and one thing I liked about it was whenever the ball got lumped up to Sunderland, they always won the ball. They always won that second ball. They did not let West Ham have a break. They won that second ball. They played it in the box to Mayenda, and he was always a threat. So I think at home, especially, Sunderland are going to be a massive threat to basically every team. I think they're going to put up a fight against every team at home. If they win, if they don't, depends. But I think they will put up a fight against every team at home. I mean, it's too early to say if they're going to survive or not. It's only been one game. But I think, Sunderland fans have a lot to look forward to as well with, the team, especially with guys like Adingra as well. He's not the finished product. Like, he's a good dribbler, but doesn't really have the, final third quality. But again, I think he's going to be a key player for Sunderland. So, yeah, lots to look forward to.
I think the perfect epitome of this is the perfect epitome of how you should stay up as a Premier League club. Um, you get experienced players, you buy physical players, and you think about trying to stay up in the season. That's the priority. Obviously, that's a priority for any relegated club. But some Premier League clubs that are promoted from the Championship, they always want to think about let's play to a certain style. We don't want to see that. Like, with due respect, relegated those clubs that come up from the Championship, they've got to find ways to survive. And what Sunderland have done the best over the other relegation candidates is that they've gone and bought quality in their defense and quality in their midfield. Um, that's allowed them to essentially be able to be competitive in every single game, I think, especially at home as well, because the Stadium of Light with a load of supporters. I can't remember the capacity, but it's a pretty big stadium. I'll be honest, it's a really big stadium. It's just going to be a nightmare for any away team to come over, especially on like Saturday nights and on Sunday afternoons. I've got a lot of I think that's one of the fixtures I'm really not looking forward to as a Liverpool fan, and any club in the top six. They're definitely not going to look forward to coming to play Sunderland, because that's going to be one of the toughest games of the season. Not the teams against the top six, but against a side like Sunderland, who are just going to be scrappy, physical, in your face, and they're just going to be passionate for every single ball as well. Obviously, the fact that they haven't got Europe, FA Cup and League Cup football, they're just going to they're going to be refreshed, and they're just going to be relentless. Um, they're going to be just fine. I think I don't see them getting relegated, to be honest. I would never have had them on my relegation bingo card, particularly with the quality of players that they're getting in.
Well, yeah, like you said, Hazard, they have the sixth biggest football ground in England, which is quite
It's
crazy to be honest,
crazy,
guys.
man. For a
49K, which
promoted
is going to be
side,
massive for them to stay up this season.
bro, that is nuts for a promoted side, you know.
I think
49K
this.
stadium, yeah.
Yeah, I think, yeah, they'll be fine. That home support, if you're somehow able, you can probably quite easily get 40. Sunderland can quite easily get 30, 35 points just by playing at home. Like, they can get 10 wins at home
Yeah.
against the clubs that are in that league. They get 10 points at home easily through wins, a couple of draws, and a few results away. They'll be fine. They'll be just fine. Um, but West Ham, I'm worried about. I would be worried about West Ham.
Yeah.
Karen Brady, Danny Dyer. Look, you've got your time's up, my guys. Your time is up. I feel like you guys might get relegated this season. London Stadium, Olympic Stadium, going down into the Championship. Um, it's just not going to happen for you guys. I just think I think it's an aging squad. It's a team it just doesn't look like it. It's very early to say, but they just don't look like they have a clue um, on how to deal with physical teams. I don't see them winning too many games, to be honest. And Paqueta might leave as well. And if I'm Jared Bowen, I'm looking at the England squad. I'm thinking, do I really want to be at West Ham? Probably not. Um, but we'll see. There's plenty of time in the transfer window. But if I'm Jared Bowen and Paqueta, I'm thinking, man, I got to get out right now because this is not a ship I want to be sinking in.
Yeah. Next game, Brighton Fulham. I'll be honest, I did not watch this game. I watched the highlights and it looked like it was an even game. They scored last minute with Muniz. Again, I think Muniz is a really underrated striker. I don't know about you guys, but this guy seems to be getting goals consistently every season. So yeah, I think Fulham will do okay this season. They don't send anyone. But with Brighton again, I think Brighton are one of the most inconsistent teams in the whole league. One week they'll batter a top six team 3-0, and the next week they'll lose 3-0. So yeah, pretty much what I expected from that game.
I'll be honest. I watched much of the day and I didn't really take too much notice of this. I was scrolling on my phone, to be honest. But I was scrolling on my phone, but both teams, both I think both teams, nothing special is going to happen with both teams, but they're also not going to get relegated either. So there's a lot. There's probably more to come for these two. I think they'll cause again problems, but nothing special really. And sorry to any Brighton and Fulham fans watching or seeing this on TikTok, but I promise I will try and get around and watch you guys. Probably when I do, it might be when you lose, and then I'll criticize you, and then you'll be crying again. So there's that potential option there. But Mani's pulling up with a goal right at the death. I think that's probably one of the highlights of the weekend. So I'll give you guys that.
Eddie, anything on the game?
I didn't watch it. No, I didn't even see the highlights, so I can't really talk about it.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't
We're,
blame you.
we're, we're shit at this.
Uh,
Uh,
Next,
I
We're
mean,
so bad.
I think the highlight of the game was probably Bassi's shots dropping. I think everyone saw that.
Highlight of the game was me turning the TV off, man.
the next game. Eddie can talk about the next game in detail. Wolves against Man City, 4-0 to Man City.
Yeah, we had me personally, I had Wolves going down. I think the loss of Ryan Ait-Nouri and Mateus Cunha is going to be big for him because, to be honest, they were their main two players. I think us, on the other hand, we looked really good. James Trafford, he impressed me. I mean, in the first 20 minutes, Wolves, they did have a few chances. I thought, same old City, we're going to concede here. They're going to bag a win again. But then we got into the game, and then I think, obviously, Haaland scoring, perfect. And then Tiani Reinders, man, what a player. On his debut, obviously, he won't get the assist for the first goal, but that first goal, it was all him. He went through both of their midfield, played a nice ball to Rico, we squared it. I think he's going to be really good for us, especially in the pivot with Rodri. And speaking of defensive midfielders, I think Nico Gonzalez, he impressed me as well, man. So it's not easy being a backup to Rodri.
Was he injured at the end, Eddie? Or
Nico,
yeah,
he did go. No, he stayed on.
he
But
stayed on. Okay.
yeah, he's not injured. Might have just been fatigue. Another player that impressed me was Ryan Ait-Nouri. He didn't get dribbled past once. He looked solid. I think this is the first time we're playing with a natural left back as well because we've had Josko Guardiola playing there. Obviously, he was injured. Yeah, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
next week we've got Tottenham. Hope we play the same again.
Yeah, I think City looked amazing in this game. To be honest, I think it was a great performance. Holland doing what he does best. I think this season Holland's gonna, do better than. Last season he was still really good. Holland also to score goals, but I think this season with the service he's gonna get from players like Marmoush, Cheki, even Foden. I think Oscar Bob looked good this game as well. He got the assist. But again, like Heidi said, one player that really impressed me was Reinders. I thought this guy took complete control of the midfield. Something which lacked from City last season, especially with Rodri who was out. They were really, loose in transitions. You could see the ball go from one side to the other side. There were cases in this game at times, especially in the first 30 minutes. I'm sure Heidi can agree with me that Wolves looked like they were
Yeah,
actually going to score, especially with Monetzi and Bellegardi. I think they both look good. But yeah, I think Wolves are going to be in a relegation scrap this season. Their forward line has really impressed me. Strand Dawson, I think, is a good striker, but he's not going to get much service. He had that with
no,
Semedo and Inuri, but I don't think he's going to have much of that this season. So I can really see Wolves in a relegation strap. Again, playing against his former club, Inuri, I think, was phenomenal. I think he shut everything down on his side. I think he made the most clearances, most tackles. He never got dribbled past. He looked great on the ball. So yeah, I think City having a national left back this season, which just will mean they will perform better than last season. Genuinely, so yeah, I think City great performance. If I was a City fan, I'll be happy and confident going into next week's game against Spurs.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, but next week you never know with Pep, man. He might. You don't know
Bro,
what he's gonna
bro,
do.
I had more motion in my team and the guy benched him.
Yeah, man.
that's
Pep,
yeah, that's
never
that's
trust him,
it's
man.
pet roulette, man. It's pet roulette.
Yeah, like
But
you said,
if
man.
there's one thing you can guarantee with pet roulette is that Haaland is always gonna give you the big bucks. Like that, like
Yeah,
putting up, like genuinely. I think in the past season and a half, Haaland's been disrespected expeditiously. To be
Oh
honest,
yeah,
this is a guy who is, I still think, Isak, not even Isak aside, I still think he's the best goal scorer, the best striker in the Premier League. Um, you don't do what he does without, being shit. I don't get it. People can call him like, oh, not good at hold up play or doesn't link up the play very well. I saw glimpse. I didn't get to again watch too much of that 4-0 match, but when I was watching Haaland link up some of the play, I thought it was very improved
yeah,
in comparison to the past couple of seasons. But still, this is the greatest goal scorer in the Premier League that we have at the moment, just in terms of his clinical finishing, his poaching. And just his overall positioning as a striker. Um, and having that midfield refreshed as well with Reinders, and then you've got Ait Nouri as well on the left, Cherky coming on at the end as well. Haaland has now got more energetic players to work with, and can potentially link up play better with as well. And I think we could see a really big goal scoring season from Haaland. Um, and
yeah.
hope
We all had
and
him top scorer,
even
so
if, yeah, for sure. And even if Isak does come to Liverpool and does really well, which I really hope he does, I still think City have the best striker in the Premier League. um
oh yeah,
and
definitely.
I just don't think there's any debate to it, to be honest. Isak has had one class season. The season before, he had one decent season. Haaland has had he's had one very good season, and two world class seasons.
Yeah,
I genuinely think that Erling Haaland will continue to deliver and consistently perform for Manchester City this season. Don't be surprised if we see him break his own goal scoring record this season as well, because I think City, even though it was against Wolves last season, this is a game that they probably would have struggled in with the personnel that they have. But this season, I do think we're going to see a different Manchester City, because this is Manchester City in the league. They're not a joke, man. They're not a joke, and I think they're going to be really, really. I don't think City fans have to worry about anything so much this season. Um, Haaland will be fine, and everything else will be taken care of. If you're
before we move on, though, if I could add, from Wolves' side, two people that impressed me, like Danny said, was Bellegarde, and he did look promising at times, running down the left. I think he nearly scored as well in what was it in the first 30 minutes when they
yeah.
had them chances. Another person who impressed me was I don't know how to say his name. Is it Kijana Hova? Who?
He's a former Liverpool player.
Yeah, he impressed me as well,
Oh
man.
yeah,
Obviously, in a Wolves side that's probably going to get relegated. It's not easy to look good, but them two impressed me, man. I think
yep.
them two will probably be their go-to players this season.
Yeah, I think Strand Dawson has to score at least 15
Yeah,
goals for them to have any chance of staying goal, which is going to be really, really
that's
tough for
good.
him,
That's
especially with no service.
that'll be
oh
a
my
really good.
god,
Oh,
Yeah.
15 goals would be.
oh my god, man, that's not
Oh
happening.
my
Because
god.
looking at that team, I can't see where the goals come from apart from him, to be honest. So yeah, it's
Literally,
going to be
man.
tough.
Maybe Huang, but
Yeah, but he's normally a bench player, isn't it? There's
yeah.
so much.
Let's
Next
Well,
move
game,
on, man.
on to Chelsea against Palace. I mean,
Yo, I made the worst mistake of my life ever since waking up this morning. Okay. Let me rephrase that. I made the worst mistake of my life to get up on the Sunday morning, um, and I got hit in the box on Saturday playing cricket, by the way. So like, I've made some pretty shit decisions this weekend. Um, like, I got hit in the box on Saturday playing cricket. I slid up a hill and I've still got my back leg. I'm still hobbling around the house like I'm from the Hunchback of
Saka.
Notre Dame. And still, yeah, and the still the worst decision I made this weekend was deciding to watch Chelsea versus Crystal Palace absolute snooze fest. Nothing happened. Like I'm telling you, I could paint my wall right now, yeah, and I could see the paint dry, and that was more entertaining than what that game gave me, man. And I'm hearing. Bro, Jamie Carragher, yeah, by the way, giving Cole Palmer that big sloppy top all of
Bro, the
last
PR.
season. Bro, the PR is
Oh,
ridiculous.
Toma.
January is the last time he scored an open play goal in the Premier League. This guy has a penalty, and everyone's like, Salah scores with his weak foot. Well, it's just a really bad game from him. Like, oh my god, it's such a
Bro,
bad game. Like,
don't
bro,
get me wrong. He's a
like,
good
bro,
player, Palmer.
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Palmer is a good player, and 2 seasons ago he was probably top five in the Premier League. But oh my god, he is so ridiculously overhyped. It is unreal. In teams again, especially against them low blocks as well. Crystal Palace, by the way, did what they had to do. When they came over, they defended like hell. They were able to just restrict Chelsea in their in for anything really, and the defense was really strong. But
Yes,
I'm not.
boys.
Chelsea,
Better late than never.
Chelsea are so I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because of everyone giving Salam and Shalom, bro. Let me talk. Chelsea during their just Chelsea in their build-up play. I don't know if it was the Club World Cup, the lack of pre-season that they've had in order to, build their team. They were just so dire. I think they're ridiculously overrated this season, and I think they're just shit. All this money on centre, all this money that they've spent, by the way, PSR and their centre backs are dud, bro. They're bad.
Bro, Cole Palmer hasn't scored an open play goal since January 14th. Let's just
Crazy.
keep that. January 14th against Bournemouth. Let's please hold this guy in the same standards to Salah. If Salah did that, bro, the way he would get crucified every week, and this Palmer guy, just because his English can get away with it, it was the same thing that happened with Foden, and it's the same thing that's gonna happen with Bournemouth this season. He'll score a penalty next week against West Ham. I guarantee you, he'll score a penalty next week, and they'll all glaze him. Carragher will be on MNF glazing him when just before the Liverpool game against. He's definitely gonna do that. But let's please, if you want to regard Palmer as a top five player in the league, which many players have been doing, let him live up to it. If he doesn't, let's actually give him some stick, because one open play goal since January. Let's keep it. Well, that's like
7 months.
He's
It's
doing
Cole
his
almost
Palmer,
best.
it's Curtis Jones if
He's doing
you
his
take
best
penalties.
Eden Hazard impression.
yeah,
Like he's doing his best Eden Hazard impression, by the way. And Chelsea fans are really trying to accept that. Like, if you want to go and win a league, and you need your best player, aka Cole Palmer, aka Cole Dharma, to step up and do something, bro. Like, this is just like,
yeah,
Yo,
but yeah,
Hajar, chat to me, yeah? Why did the Eze free kick get ruled out? What happened?
That was
I was
so
gonna.
it's
bullshit,
actually,
but
yeah, okay.
I was happy
So
it happened
basically,
because it's him, FPL.
listen,
Fairs.
listen. Before I explain what happens listen, whatever happens, I got nothing against Cole Palmer. He's in my fantasy. He's in my fantasy
Same,
because I
yeah.
know he's
I
gonna
have
come
something
up with some
against him
shit
because he's in my
assist and some
fantasy and he
shit
ghosted
goal.
the
Yeah,
twat.
But
what's gonna happen next week? They
just
got
to
West
touch,
Ham.
just to touch on that, why that goal got disallowed. Apparently, it was because Guehi was less than a meter away from the wall as the shot was taken, which is apparently, you're not allowed to stand a meter away from the wall. First, I thought it was from the foul because he got pushed, but
Yeah.
apparently it wasn't off that. It was because he was a meter away from the wall, which fair enough. If if that is the rule and he's standing a meter away from the wall, fair enough. It's a disallowed goal. But yeah, I thought Palace looked better than Chelsea by a mile. I think Chelsea's keeper made 4 saves. Sanchez. Palace didn't really have much to deal with. Their defense, Chelsea's attack, Gittins, Neto, Pedro, Palmer, all of them were just awful. Even the paper with Enzo and Caicedo wasn't really great. And Mares came out after the game. He goes, "Oh, give me more money for centre backs, bro. Look how much you spent on attack. You bought Gittins, you bought Pedro, you bought all these guys, and now you want to focus on your defense just because Levi Colwill got injured. Okay, man."
Bro, this is how you know he's Pep's assistant, man. He's more money.
Yeah, both Arteta and Maresca, Pep's lap dogs, man. I'm telling you.
Bro, you see Todd Bowley, he's probably going to spend another 200 mil now.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he was
thing
on
is,
his phone
Chelsea
making
just
boss
signed
calls.
the same level player. That's all they do. They buy players at the same level the squad they already have. So they get rid of mid and sign mid again. So it makes no difference to them.
Zay, I know
They're
you
gonna stay
said
in
you
that top
watched the
four
whole
battle. They're not
game,
gonna
yeah?
win the league.
How
They're
did
not good enough.
João
They might win
Pedro
a
look?
cup or something, a jammy conference league.
But yeah, again, let's give Palace some credit here. I think Palace played amazing. I think Palace had, a really good game. But Stamford Bridge isn't an easy place to go. Adam Morton, again, this guy is going to keep getting better and better. We should be all over him next summer. I think he was great. He shut down Enzo and Caicedo. With Guehi, I think he was great as well. And, it looks like he's off to Liverpool. And, that'll really hurt him. But yeah, I think Palace will do good this season. I could see them being around 10th, maybe 8th, ninth. But yeah, that's
In
fine.
the time I was watching paint dry during that game, the co-commentator, I don't know what his name was. I think he was getting on to Adam Wharton a fair bit during the game. It allowed Chelsea a fair few he maybe allowed Chelsea a fair few transitions, but on the ball he's really good. Um, and I think we could sign him for next season. I don't know, but regardless of what happened in that game, Crystal Palace probably. I feel like they. If I'm a Palace fan, I'm thinking, you know what, we've missed out on 2 points there.
They deserved it, yeah.
Um, they deserve that win thoroughly, and there was just not one point in that game where I thought Chelsea were going to really do something. Liam Delap was probably like he was a bright spark for them. Just being able to get in and around that defensive line, cause a bit of problems. Estevao, when he came on as well, he was all right as well. Um, but I think Chelsea, it's just, I don't know if it's a burnout or something, but they look really mediocre. By the way, that rule was put in 2019. If I remember correctly, that 1 meter rule. Daniel Sturridge made a really good point on after the game. He said, "What happens if the ball goes over the wall, but the player is in within a meter of the wall? How does that affect it?" Um, and and again, if I'm a Palace fan, I'm looking at every single free kick scored after 2019. Like, there's no way you don't. There's no way you just randomly find this rule now. You apply it. If so, fantastic. I think it's great application of the rules and regulations from the referees on the day. But that's not the first time it's happened in the past 6 years. Come on now, let's have it
Yeah,
out
of
here.
course.
It's not the first time it's happened in the first 6 years. Like,
Chelsea need to be
there's no
spot
there's
on
no
last
way
year. Like that.
that reason's never been given. Otherwise, a lot of people would have known about it. But yeah, I'm just frustrated. I had to watch paint dry. I tuned in for a Cole Palmer FPL session instead. This guy cost me first place in about 4 or 5 of my leagues. So yeah,
I
let's
mean,
move on.
the game we all should have been watching sort of this game was the Forest Brentford game where Forest attack looked ridiculous. Chris Wood, bro, that guy is PL heritage. I'm telling you, he's gonna score another 15 league goals this season. I think he looked great. Again, Hudson-Odoi, I think, looked good. Morgan Gibbs-White got another assist. I think the only reason I had Forest finishing lower than last season is because the heavy schedule. They're gonna have much more games this season. I don't know if the squad can deal with it. But overall, I think their squads improved from last season. I think they look good. I feel like their defense, they kept basically all the defense. They kept Murillo, Milenkovic, Nico Williams, Ainem. Sells isn't really a bad keeper. I think he's a good keeper. And then the pivot of Sangora and Elia Anderson, again, I think is a really good pivot. But yeah, I think Forest will do well this season. At times, of course, fatigue with the heavy scheduling, but especially at home, Forest are a different breed. But yeah, I think Forest
Yo,
were good.
shout out Marinakis, man. This guy right at the end of the game, he was just going up and shaking every single person's hand, man. Yo, knowing that he's part of the mafia, already, I'd give him a hug and just be like, "Listen, bro, pay me more, man. I'll stay forever, man." And he'll just have this massive smile on my face, like, Morgan, what are you saying, man? Bro, I'd be off to shoot Morgan Gibbs White if I was fucking if he left for Spurs, man. Yo, what an owner, man. People are calling him fat and stuff, and a mafia boss, bro. This is an owner that cares about their football club, man. Like, he obviously had to go at Nuno Espirito Santo last season for not getting Champions League, bro. Come on, man. Look at the position they were in. He had every right to be like, yo, like, manager, fix up, man. Like, I'll give you the money, I'll give you everything. Like, bro, I'm all for Marinakis, man. I like, Forrester, many people have their opinions on Nottingham Forest, and I quite like them.
Yeah, same.
I quite like them as a football team. As a fan base, I don't really give a shit. But like as a football team and as a football club, they've obviously developed themselves significantly well. And they're a lot more likable than Newcastle. I'll tell you that now. And I've hated Newcastle before Newcastle were generally hated. Like Forest are, I think they'll get top 6, top 7. I know I wasn't on the prediction show, but they just look so defensively solid that even with the heavy schedule, the way that they're set up, it's only the attack that will suffer. It's only the attack in the midfield that will suffer. The defense, it's more of a mental fatigue. But in terms of physicality, it's not that much, to be honest. For Forest, they'll be fine again this season.
Talking about Brentford, though, I think they looked horrible. To be honest, they did not look good. I mean, losing two massive players in Wissa and Mbembo. I mean, it's looking like Wissa
And
might
the
stay
manager, and the
after.
manager.
And the manager, yeah, the biggest one, the biggest loss they had. They did not look good this game. I think, especially the defense. That Nathan Collins and Van Denberg, former Liverpool defender, did not look good. But yeah, I think Brentford could be in trouble this season unless they sign a few good players. I mean, they're playing open for Thiago now, who was like third choice or fourth choice last season, and he just got a penalty. But yeah, I think they need reinforcements in the attack and maybe even the defense. To be honest, I mean they brought on Jordan Henderson, and he stunk it up like always. He was not good. So yeah, I've not got much to say about Brentford. I think they're in deep trouble, to be honest.
Yeah, I think if Kelleher maybe stayed 2 or 3 more weeks, he would have actually gotten a good Premier League move. He moved to Brentford thinking that the project was going to be fine, and I thought, you know what, if on the basis Mbeumo stayed, Wissa stayed, Thomas Frank stayed, Kelleher in that side would have made it pretty decent. But I think Kelleher could potentially have could have relegation on his CV. But he's kind of, but if he has it, that's all I care about. Kelleher doing well. If Kelleher can somehow, manage himself quite well in the Premier League, he's got what he wanted, regular game time. But um, I just hope he doesn't become the new Ramsdale. That's all.
Ramsdale.
Eddie, you got anything to say about the game?
Relegated and that.
Not really, no. I didn't watch it. I was at cricket.
Fair enough. Let's move on to, the biggest game of the week: United against Arsenal.
Yo, can I just say, I've got a special shirt on for this one, innit? So I've got 3 ghosts on a shirt: Gengar, Haunter, and Ghastly. Shout out my Pokemon fans and expressions. If you're watching this, you better know, bro. Actually, he doesn't know about Pokemon. But let me start that again. So we're talking about the Arsenal and Manchester United game, right? I've got 3 ghosts on this shirt. So I've got Gengar, Haunter, and Ghastly. This is an evolution line of 3 Pokemon. And what do they have in common? They're ghosts, right? There were 3 ghosts on that pitch. Actually, no, there were 2 ghosts. Number 1 was Viktor Gyökeres, Gyok Lesnar, flipping Victor Gyökeres, bro. This guy, Victor Gyökeres, he comes on and you think, okay, yet Arsenal have signed, they've signed someone who was bagging like what he had 90 plus goals last season, something stupid like that in the Portuguese league, the same league that Darwin Núñez was signed from, by the way. Just putting it out there. And he just looks like he runs in Timberlands. He looks like he runs in Timberlands. He plays like when you're when you go out and play football in at school, and you had the guy that played football with his hands in his pockets and didn't own a belt, and his trousers were falling down. That's Victor Gyökeres, man. Like, this guy, he comes from the same country that produced Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Andriy Varanin, Ukrainian, not Ukrainian, Swedish strikers. I can't even remember, bro. My head's gone. They're the same flag, innit? Like, they're the same flag. I don't get any cuts to write down my lines and stuff, but Gyökeres, God, he was just a ghost. The only notable thing that he did was shove Delit and then kick the ball out for a throw in.
Old Trafford.
That was fucking terrible.
Bro, that landed on the cricket pitch at Emirates Old Trafford.
Bro, I'm telling you, they were playing the 100 over there, and Gyökeres' first touch goes over there, and Josh Butler's thinking, yo, I just hit this ball out the park. Why is it back here? And then the other... and then the other goes. And then if you didn't think a striker debut could get any worse, he comes off and Benjamin Šeško comes on. Like, you know what? Anyone out there with a lisp is very lucky that they can say Šeško, because otherwise they're spitting everywhere. Like, bro, Thefko. Like, you can't be playing with Benjamin Šeško, man. Like, he comes on and he stinks up the gaff. Oh my God, he was terrible. He was not as bad as Manuel Ugarte, but I ain't gonna speak on that guy.
You got to be kidding me.
I ain't gonna speak on that guy, man. That guy is literally the Uruguayan Jordan Henderson. He is so bad.
I respect Jordan Henderson, bro.
No, no, I
Let's not
no,
respect
no.
him, Eddie.
Listen,
Let's
at
not.
least
Let's not.
Henderson had a good season in 1920. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Whatever. Sesko comes on for Mason Mount, who I thought had a really good game, and he
Yeah.
just didn't. He just wasn't inspiring. Um, both strikers for my. I still think Sesko is going to do a lot better for Manchester United than Gyökeres is going to do for Arsenal. I think Gyökeres won't go past 10 Premier League goals this season. Um, he just doesn't look compatible with the players
He
that
was.
are on the pitch. Like you either got it or you don't. You don't like with strikers. You either got it or you don't. You don't need time to adapt. Sometimes
Yeah.
you're just there. That's what world class strikers do. And if Arsenal wanted a world class striker, they could have signed Ekitike, but Liverpool got him. Like when they got him, um, obviously Isak didn't want to go to Arsenal, and I don't blame him because Isak's too good for Arsenal. They could have they could have gotten Julian Alvarez. They could have gotten a load of different strikers, but they said, no, you know what, we'll go for Gyökeres. And he just looks like an eyesore, to be honest. He's not the kind of striker that I would have a lot of faith in. Um, as someone who does FPL, if I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm using copium like a Liverpool fan did with Darwin Núñez for like the first 6 months of the season. Okay, if you're Danny for the first 2 games, like I still had loads of faith in Darwin Núñez, but irrespective of that fact, and I know we've been talking a lot, I just don't think Gyökeres has it. Sesko will probably go on to do better things for Manchester United. And Ugarte,
Haram sesh, bro. He had a haram ball sesh.
Ugarte. Yeah, oh my God. He would not look out of place at Sunday league, at Sunday seven-a-side power league, bro. He's the kind of guy that turns up, that tackles everyone, gets mad, and leaves. By the way, illegally tackles because this guy just doesn't have an
Shin kicker,
idea.
bro.
I remember
Bro, the
the time.
guy's a shin kicker.
Bro, I remember the Twitter timeline turning up and being like, "Ineos, are you mad, blood? Are you mad?
Oh,
You
that
just
screenshot, flipping out.
yo, that
Making
screenshot
moves.
smashed because Ugarte is just fucking terrible. Oh my God. How can you look at that guy as a footballer and be like, he's shit?
Listen, if I can add something, yeah, some things never change. United are still 15th. But that United, man, they're just gonna splash more money. Hey, how's it you kill me, man? Cause
Bro, listen, I'll talk about the
you
actual.
kill me, man.
I'll try and comment on the actual game now.
You're too funny, man.
I'll comment on the actual game now without trying to, lose my, without trying to, get views or whatever. But I thought Manchester United looked pretty decent against Arsenal. I don't know if it's because of the tactics that Arteta uses, Arteta and Yahoo. Little terrorist defensive low
Look at
block
me.
Stoke City, bro. I'm telling you, yeah, this is steaming shit Stoke City. Like this is it's just polished turd with Arsenal. Um,
Bro, that it kills me, man. Like,
We're
you
so
he
big
just got
time
play like
now.
Ugarte, it's just mental.
Bro, all this over Ugarte.
my club finally acting like the biggest club it is. Yeah, we're so big time now. United Trays woke up and it's a nightmare. That guy's been living a nightmare all of his all of his days at Man
That
United. So
Bashar kills me, man. Bashar, he said I just noticed.
But yeah, just to touch on the United Arsenal game, I think Arsenal looked really poor. Like,
Bro,
actually,
they
really
got
poor.
dominated, man.
And there were a few signs for United, but okay, like these few players could do good. I mean, the new signing, I thought, and Buemo especially, him and Cunha, I think both of them had a really good game. You could see, it's generic to say we've said it a lot, but I feel like there's a lot of Salah in Mbuemo. Like, there's a lot of Salah in
Similar,
Mbuemo.
they
And
play similar,
you feel
don't they?
like the way they move, the way he plays, the way he just tries to always, get in the attacking third, trying to find the ball in the back of the net. So I think he's gonna be a really good signing. I see him and Cunha. Like, even if United don't really do great, I can see them two having like a really good season. Again, as I mentioned, it Mason Mount, I thought he had a really good game. I think on the Arsenal side of things, Gyökeres, I mentioned it also, man. I do not want this guy near my football club. I've had Darwin Núñez for 3 seasons. I do not want another Darwin Núñez. I've seen Gyökeres play, and every touch is like a jewel. Every time he touches the ball, it's like, okay, he's won a jewel. He makes it look so hard. And there was a few times in this game where he got the ball, and there was a pass open to Saka, and he just made the wrong decision. He did not belong out there. He looked absolutely horrible, and I can't see this guy being. I mean, it's really early to say. It's one game in, you know. I mean, it's not even reaction because I've said for a long time. I just don't see this guy succeeding in this Arsenal team, especially for a team like Arsenal. Like, okay, fair enough if you put him in a mid-table team, you could get your free goals. You know, the way they play probably suits him. You know, because apparently he's a good header of the ball. So if you play that, you could probably get your solid 10 goals. But for a team like Arsenal, who are challenging for the league, you bring in Gyökeres for a 9 you want to sign. You were like, I think since the start of last summer, they were saying, okay, we'll get Isak next summer. Isak never happened, and they look at Gyökeres. Like, is Gyökeres really the guy who's gonna take you to the league title? You finished second 3 seasons in a row, and your hope of winning a league title is Gyökeres. I mean, it's not really gonna happen, is it? Again, left wing Martinelli, I think, was horrible. I think Martinelli is stagnated since the last few seasons, and they do really need a new left winger. I think if Rodrigo's that guy, I don't think they'll sign Rodrigo. I think it's Rodrigo or Eze, and I don't think they get neither. A player who's perfect for Arsenal is Liao. I think give him Rafael Liao, and they'd be literally another quantity. But I don't think they're gonna get Liao. I think this. I think they'll literally keep Martinelli, and it's not looking good for Arsenal fans, to be honest. Gyökeres, Martinelli,
No.
and Saka front three. I mean, you have Madueke as a backup option. Havertz, if I was Arteta, I'd be starting Havertz next week against Leeds. I'd be putting Gyökeres right on the bench. But again, it's too early, so Arteta isn't probably going to do that. But yeah, again, Arsenal, really poor man.
Yeah,
I
man.
think
They've
if
not
there's one thing.
changed, bro. They're
Yeah,
just corner
there's-
FC.
I think if there's one thing, there's probably like three good players that stood out for me. For Arsenal,
Zubimendi.
one was Raya. There
California,
were a few things, yeah, Calafiori and Odegaard. Um,
yeah.
they stood out. They stood out to me.
Zubimendi looked okay as well.
Yeah, he
No,
looked
I don't
okay.
think I
I
did.
think he looked okay.
I thought he was a bit meaty myself personally.
Yeah,
Um,
fairs.
I think a
I
lot of things
think,
were happening through the middle of the pitch. Bruno and Casemiro played pretty well to break that midfield partnership. But I really like David Raya's performance. He looked a lot better than he did last season. In obviously, again, one game is a small sample size, but this is a roundup, so we're rounding up, pretending as if it was the entire season. But Raya looked really good, commanding of his box, distribution really good, made some vital saves as well. Calafiori with the goal, but also I thought he defended. I thought him and Wemo had a few good battles as well. And Odegaard, I think we're going to see a different Odegaard this season. Someone who's going to be a little bit more aggressive on the ball instead of passing it sideways. He's going to look to get a little bit more forward as well. He's got that freedom now, knowing that he's got Zubimendi and Declan Rice, so he can be that free roaming midfielder. And I think Odegaard will have a good season. But like you said, Danny, Arsenal do need a lot of attacking reinforcement. I think Martinelli is kind of used now as like it's just used as a pressing machine, and if you're not going to get any sort of contribution from the left side and your striker's not doing too much, and the right wingers and Saka's just like I think he just looks cooked already.
yeah,
He
he
just
does.
looks cooked, and I feel sorry for him because he's Arsenal's talisman, and he's obviously a really good player, but I think he could be.
Yeah, we touched on
Sorry for him.
Odegaard and Zubimendi, but we haven't touched on the other midfielder, which I think is a really big key part to our Arsenal play. Rice, I don't think Rice had a good game. And normally, if Arsenal do play well, Rice plays well. And I think, again, Rice looked really poor this game. So, yeah, I do think, they probably get better. I mean, Leeds next week, they'll definitely win that. But, yeah, I do think, especially in the attacking reinforcement, if you do want to win a league, Gyökeres, Martinelli, and Saka is not that front three, personally.
I think
Yeah, Bukayo
I
Saka,
think
man.
Saka still sticks around for me.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
He
still a
looked
very
good, but I think he he looked at times he didn't want to like engage, in the duels for the ball.
I don't
I
blame
think
him,
it
to be
was
honest, Eddie,
against
for that.
Stoke. Yeah, his injury record, man. It's not looking good for him, man.
So yeah,
I think
I think for United fans, there's a lot to look forward to, especially because how bad last season was. There's a few players if Mbeumo and Cunha can get kicking on. I think there could be something there.
and it's
But
one game
again,
a week as well.
yeah,
And
and
on the table, it says they lost, but they did look somewhat better than last season.
yeah, but again, you can see the main issues with United. I mean, they do definitely need a new keeper. I think they need a new midfielder. You guys touched on Ugarte, but that guy came on. It looked like he was colorblind. Every time he just didn't have no clue what was out there. He was giving the ball to the other team. He probably gave the ball more to Arsenal than any other player did. But yeah, he looked really, really poor. if United do want to be serious, again, a player they will link with Carlos Baleba, who I think will be staying
Maleba,
at
yeah.
Brighton right now. Him or Adam Wharton could really do with the United I think they would have got him if they sold Bruno to Saudi for 100 million, but Bruno's sticking around. So I literally don't think they get a midfielder right now. For a keeper, though, I mean, City are going for Donnarumma. Why don't United try for Donnarumma? I think he's much better than Onana and Biander. I think Amram got asked in his post presser that, or why did I start
Yeah,
competing for? Bro, his head got so hot. He was
Amarim,
like,
man.
whoa, why would I start
He
competing
looks
for?
like such a Lahori man, don't he? He just looks like a proper, he looks like a proper Pakistani man. I love it.
Yeah, I think
It
that's
was-
enough about the United
But
Arsenal
one
game.
thing, I think there's if there's one. Sorry, if I'm
Yeah.
again,
No, no,
I
go on,
think I
go
think
ahead.
I think United should look at signing Jordan Pickford. Good with his,
Mm.
he's elite with his feet. He's Premier League proven as well. And I know you've obviously got the potential to sign Donnarumma from PSG, but I think Pickford I think he deserves to not play at Everton, to be honest. And I know that again, Liverpool fan, you're comparing Everton and United, and you just think, should I be really getting involved in these kind of conversations? But I don't really give a shit too much. I think Pickford could elevate Manchester United just in his goalkeeping attributes. I think he's a very good goalkeeper. I think he's top 5 in the league. Um, I don't think he deserves a big move. Well, relatively big move to Man United. Um,
I mean, they've got Fulham next. Maybe a draw, to be honest. Fulham at home is not, I mean, Fulham away is not an easy game for
Yeah, it's
United
not
in my
easy
mind.
at Craven Cottage.
But again, Arsenal, I think, get the 3 points against Leeds to me. I think they're home. They're just too much for Leeds. I think they'll win that.
Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough. And speaking of Leeds,
Yep.
Shabash.
I mean,
shout out Bash man, my guy right there.
Drop
Uh,
his handle.
no, not dropping that infidel handle. um, like, admittedly, I didn't watch too much of it until the second half, where I thought Everton played pretty decently. I heard that Leeds played really well in the first half. And then Leeds obviously came away with the 3 points, which I was very happy about because Everton need to get relegated. Like, that would be perfect. Liverpool winning the league and Everton getting relegated would be very nice. Don't have to go play away at don't have to play away to Everton. Um, but again, it's just the defensive setup and the hard-working midfield and defense that Leeds have that allowed them to get that 3 points. Just continuously being able to work as hard as they do, and they'll have the entire week to do that, to continue going and going and going. I really like Tanaka Ao.
yeah,
He's
quality.
he's a really good midfielder, and I think in the next year or two he could probably go to a big club as well. I think he's really really intelligent on the ball, works really hard as well, and he was a really big difference maker for Leeds tonight from what I saw in the second half. Um, but yeah, any other points to make?
I
'Cause-
mean, I think Leeds look really good for first game of the season against Everton. I think Everton barely created nothing. Leeds had a few chances. And yeah, my main issue with these was the front line. I don't think they've got near enough to stay up. I don't think Piro and James and Granto is really good enough to stay up. But again, like I mentioned, I thought Tanaka looked really good. And Padu, before he went off, I think really good. Same with Anton Strack. I think all three of them worked really hard, to shut down Everton. But yeah, I think I don't know if they stay up. Really early to say again, but if I was a Leeds fan, I would be happy with this performance. It was a really good performance against their defense again looked great. I thought Goodmanson, Bogle, Roden, and Strujic all put in good defensive shifts. Everton, though, I mean, they look toothless to be honest. I expected a candidate for Everton, but I mean, they have David Moyes, so what can you expect? But yeah, I think for Everton, I think they'll still be okay. I thought Dewsbury Hall looked okay. I'm surprised the new striker never came on. Barry, or did he come on near the end? I think he got a few minutes. But I'd be sort of came over better to be honest. I don't think better was really good, but I think someone like Barry against Grealish came on, didn't do much. So yeah, I think that was a really good performance by Leeds. If I was a Leeds fan, I'd be really happy with that. Eddie?
yeah, fair enough.
I didn't watch the game. I was asleep, bro. That's some 3 days of cricket took its toll on me, man.
Fair enough. Shall we do the team of the week now?
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So what formation you guys want to play?
I think 4-3-3
Four
should be
three
it.
three. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. Right.
I mean,
Who do you guys
let's
think
be
was the
real. I'm going Vicario. Personally, I would have Vicario. Don't know if you'll
Um,
agree.
I would probably say
Or
David.
Raya.
Right, I'd probably. I would not.
I'd say Raya.
I want the Villa goalkeeper actually.
Whatever his name,
Bizot,
Sortis.
Oh,
Bizot,
the new one.
Bizot. Yeah, I thought he was really good.
You know what?
Um,
That's a good shout, Hazard, because he did make some good saves
Yeah, with
and
10 men as well, yeah. Good
Gordon
shout.
and it's Gordon and Elanga as well. He went up against. I
Was
think
it his
Ryan obviously
debut?
Ryan did some really good things. But I think when you're going up against a new attack and you're somewhat established versus having to step in for Emi Martinez and putting out some some important saves to save a point, I think was slightly more impressive on my part. So I'd have Bizot in goal.
yeah, I put him
Was
in
this his debut?
first game. Yeah,
Fucking, that's crazy, bro. 10 men as well, you know.
left back.
Exactly.
I'm putting in
I'm going
Ainuri.
Imeri, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Eddie there. I think he was phenomenal. Again, most clearances, most tackles, most interceptions. Just looked
Didn't
so
get
solid.
dribble past as well once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Centre backs.
I mean, you have to
Uh,
have Daniel Ballard in it.
yeah, it's
He's
got to
got
be
to be.
Dan Ballard. Yeah.
And who would you go for his pairing?
Oh,
I mean, Van de Ven could be a shout. He
he
did.
was good.
Yeah, but Van der Ven is
Romero.
up against. Yeah, but Van der Ven is up against Burnley.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What
Um,
defenders? I'm trying to think. Who
I'm
had
trying to think of
standout
the
games.
lads from Leeds tonight because I thought they defended quite well.
you could go Rodon. Joe
Roden
Rodon.
had a solid game. Solid Stujic. If I was gonna, I'd probably put Stujic in, to be honest. I thought he was
Even Mark Guehi. Clean sheet, Chelsea.
um up to you guys, to be honest. I'd probably say it's
Oh wait, should we decide the right
Nottingham.
back? Is that going to be Ampadu? Because I thought he was really good today as well.
I mean, Danny, you could put
Wasn't
Van
Ampadu more
Hecke
from
from
midfielder
Brighton.
though?
Van Hecke is a shout.
Van Heck had a good game, to be honest.
Yeah. Or you could even put Calafiori, but he's a left back, isn't he?
Yeah.
Fabian Shaw. I don't know.
Let me just
I think Van Hecke is the shout.
did Van Heck get yeah, actually he had a really good game, to be honest. Yeah, I put Van Heck there.
I mean, who did you lot say for right back? Not right back. I'm not really sure.
As I said Ampadu, but I think he played midfield, so I would have put
I
him
don't know if
in.
he played right back or midfield, but I
Yeah,
heard he had a brilliant game, so I wouldn't. I don't really want to.
yeah, he played midfield, so I wouldn't put
Like
him in.
Kaza said, they did play Burnley, but Pedro Porro's a shout.
Porro had a really good game.
Reece James.
Not Reece James. I don't think
No.
anyone from Chelsea should make that side.
You know, I think we should put Porro there. I think you created, I think, the most chances, and he, again,
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
This is where the big debate will be.
midfield. One midfield I'm asking straight away is the Man City Rangers. I thought he was
Yeah, Reinders gets in, no
Too
doubt
much.
about that. Absolutely, 100% to Johnny Reinders.
My other shout, boys, would this be a midfielder or would it be attacker? Semenyo, would you put him as a
I would put him right wing, to be honest.
right wing?
I don't think. I don't
for
think he
midfield.
gets. I don't think he gets put in as right winger anyway. Semenyo.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Midfielders though. Saul
mean,
from
Grant,
Spurs, I
like
think
I
had a good
said,
game.
Shaka. Pat Matasol.
I think he was solid. He had a really good game for Spurs. And he got an assist. So yeah, I think we could put him in.
Yeah, go on then. Fair enough. Put him in.
Pat
Who's the other one
Gasol.
we're saying, lads?
Last midfielder though. What you guys think?
I was thinking
Morgan Gibbs
Semenyo.
White. I was thinking Morgan Gibbs White, to be fair, or Anderson, one of them two.
Anderson. I think Anderson had a really good game too. Yeah, I put Anderson in. Okay, rounding up on Semenyo. I
Yeah.
thought he was
Not Kudus.
phenomenal against Liverpool.
I was thinking Semenyo midfield, Kudus right wing.
Ooh, Kudus. That's another shout. But was he better than Semenyo? I mean,
See,
they did play
this all
Burnley.
depends on my other two picks. This is my
My other
personal two
two
picks.
picks are Haaland and Ekatike. So
Yeah, same. That's why I was putting Semenyo midfield and Kudus at
No, what
right
about
wing.
Chris Wood? What are we doing when there's no Chris Wood?
Chris
Nah,
Wood got 2 goals. Holland got
right.
2 goals. Richarlison got 2 goals. So which one
Yeah,
of you do
no.
you guys want to put in?
I'm going
Personally,
Haaland, so I have to go Haaland.
I'd say Chris Wood. Hazard.
Do you
Oh,
not
you
drop
leave it.
Ekitike though?
I'd put
I
Ekitike
know
left
it's
wing, to be honest.
Liverpool bias, but
I'd put Ekitike left wing.
I mean it's 2v1, so whatever the vote
No,
is.
no, no. I'm saying. It's really. I think Akatika. I think it's
All right, yeah.
showing up in your first. It's
I've
showing
got
up in your
Ekitike
first.
left wing as
If
well.
you want
Yeah,
ahead, yeah, we could put Semenyo here and we could put
yeah. I was
Kudus here.
thinking
I think Kudus
Kudus.
would
Yeah,
fit in.
I thought Anderson. I thought Anderson was actually better than. And that especially that Anderson pass, the pass that he played for Chris Wood was ridiculous as well. I didn't really see much of Papsar. Because obviously I
Ooh,
watched Match of the Day for that game, so I thought maybe I'm thinking maybe Semenyo in that midfield.
yeah, so let's put Anderson here because Semenyo just play off the right and put Semenyo.
right. For my strikers, my three are Richarlison, Wood, and Haaland. So, but I want to go
So
Haaland.
let's put in context the teams they played. So Wood played. I mean, they all played for teams: Burnley, Wolves, and Brentford. Who impressed you the most?
I think Haaland's third goal though, man, that was a
Hmm.
bullet. But Richarlison as well, man. If we're going for goals, Richarlison's
That
overhead
goal
kick
was a
goal.
ridiculous goal. Yeah,
Guy never gets any. Guy never really scores either.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what?
And
I'd put a shot.
Listen, yeah, okay, Richarlison is
really,
fair enough, lads. That's a
not great.
good team of the week. It's a nice team
Yeah,
of the week, that man.
looks solid.
And Danny, if you could you like save them from every week so like we can look back?
Oh
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know, would it be too much for you?
I'll do that. No, it's fine. I could just screenshot him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's not bad, man.
Okay, so
The Prem is back.
we've got we've got Bizot in goal, Aït-Nouri at left back, Ballard and Van Hecke in centre back with Pedro Porro at right back, Semenyo kind of playing as like an inside midfielder, Blair, some pep bullshit, but he's got to be in there. Played amazingly well. Tijani Reinders, Anderson in the midfield as well. Then we've got Ekatike occupying the left wing. And then we've got Richarlison in striker with Kudus at the right wing. If anyone else has any different opinions, you're more than welcome to drop them in. But
My
guys,
two honourable mentions, if I could
yeah,
add in.
there's a load of
Chris Wood.
honourable.
We'll be here for such a long
Chris
time. We
Wood's
should
my
be
honourable
enjoying.
mention. He was unlucky.
If we had three honourable mentions, it would probably for me the three honourable mentions would be Ethan and Pardew, um,
Chris Wood.
Chris Wood,
Yeah.
and who
Raya
else?
in goal.
And Raya, yeah,
Yeah.
and David Raya. Um,
What would you guys say is your player of the week if you
yeah,
could pick one player?
that's a good one there.
Player of the week, I think it has to be Richarlison for me personally.
I've got Reinders. I've got Reinders.
Right,
To be honest,
I think I have Ballard.
well gone different. Love it.
I think Ballard had a really solid defensive performance and he scored. So I'd give it Ballard.
Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
good. That was good.
that's the
yep,
first Premier
fantastic.
League roundup.
And that is the
Let's
Premier League
go.
roundup, guys. We won't do a team of the week where a team of the worst or something like that. That'd be pretty sick.
Wait,
But we'll
one thing we could do is flop of the week. Gyökeres.
flop of the week.
Facts.
Yep.
Gyökeres or
All
Palmer.
right. So we'll go with flop of the week is Gyökeres.
Palmer.
So you can say Palmer. I'm saying the guy on your screen, Victor
I'm from
Gyökeres.
Gyökeres as well, yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, no.
his profile picture kills me.
Yeah, get a zoom on that, guys. What the hell, bro? Release your face, man. It's like my triple chin right here, guys. Like, it's one of them. But guys, that is the Premier League roundup. Thank you for listening. If you've stayed for long enough and listened to the many different things that everyone had to say, including Umair's like his 10-second cameo. It was still
Hey,
a better substitute appearance. It was still a
Palmer's
better
cameo is that
substitute.
one Twitter clip when the guy gets subbed on, the game ends.
Oh my god. Ometa's cameo was only 10 seconds, but it was so much better than Agate's. Um, we've got Manchester City at the top. We've got Manchester City at the top of the table. Arsenal outside of the top four, which let's hope continues to happen for the entire season from a personal perspective. Um, and well, it's been a great week of Premier League football. The Premier League is back, baby. Join us next week for the Premier League roundup.
We'll have a
After
Liverpool preview on probably Saturday or Sunday. I mean, if this gets good views, we could do a roundup, but we'll see about that. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
It's all on you fuckers right there, man. You got to tune in, you know what I mean? But cool, guys, thank you for listening in. That's DK, that's Hedy, and this is me, Hazza. That's Mission Podcast, the Premier League round at week 1. Take care. Good night.